welcome to the Empowered Entrepreneur podcast, where we celebrate neurodivergent voices in business and beyond. We talk challenges, we talk wins, and we have some real life talk on here as well. Today I'm joined by Rhea, who I'm going to get to introduce herself in just a moment. And yeah, we're going to have a very interesting chat today. So Rhea, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Rhea. I'm founder of Realise Your Potential. So my work is really about helping people understand their brain and their body, how they actually work, so they can stop fighting themselves and actually start working with it. So my background is in nutrition. I graduated, seems a long time ago now, but over time, I became really interested in how things like stress, beliefs, anxiety, and stuff all affect us as humans and show up in our day to day life, especially around like focus, motivation, confidence. So then I ended up coming across a neurochange program. So I'm now a master trainer, a practitioner of the neurochange method. And what I've actually done is I'm blending my nutrition with my neurochange work because I think nothing is in isolation. Your brain or your body, like it all works together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did work at normal 9 to 5 in the NHS, but I am now a business owner.
Amazing. That sounds really interesting. It's good to know your background as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll delve right in. So like you were just saying, a lot of your work is rooted in helping people understand how their brain works.
Yep.
When you're working with individuals who are neurodiverse, what shifts do you see when they start to understand themselves in that way?
So the key thing for me is probably seeing people, like noticing that people go from like self-blame to self-understanding. And to me, that's a massive shift for that individual. Um, so is getting the person to think that, do you know what, nothing's actually, it's not like they're the problem and something's majorly wrong with them. As a lot of people, especially if they're neurodivergent or just sometimes feel a bit different, they've been told that they're lazy or they're not consistent or they're not focused enough. And this becomes ingrained in their mind as a belief. So when they actually start to understand how their brain works, it moves from I'm the problem to, okay, this is how my brain actually functions.
Yeah.
And from there, there's a lot more self-compassion,
Yeah.
but also that clarity as well. It's like the penny drops sometimes, isn't it? They
Yeah.
also start noticing patterns instead of judging themselves, which I think's a big thing. So, like certain tasks, will make them focus better, or the certain jobs or tasks maybe that's when they struggle a wee bit more. So that's when they know when they can need to bring in a different tool or a technique. And that's usually when the change becomes possible, when they start recognising that for themselves. So when people start understanding themselves and their brain, how their brain works, they stop actually fighting themselves. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just recently diagnosed with ADHD. Now,
Okay.
I have for a while thought that I probably have some sort of like neurodivergent traits, we'll say.
Yeah.
My daughter's on the waiting list to be diagnosed with autism. Um, you can quite clearly see she is autistic, the way she does things, and but that's a we'll get into that another time, a long waiting list.
Yeah. I could
Um,
just imagine.
but my son, he's got ADHD. And obviously, when you're going through the forms, filling these out for your children, you're looking at them and you're going, oh, actually,
Yeah. Ping,
that makes sense about
ping.
myself. So, yeah, yeah. So for a while, I've thought, oh, maybe I should go and see just so I can understand. Like, for me, that's not so much the label that's the important bit. Um, it doesn't really change anything in that terms. It doesn't, it doesn't suddenly go, all right, okay, I'm all good now. It just
Exactly.
makes me
Yeah.
understand things about myself. For example, like I can get that ADHD paralysis. I will have so many things to do, even on a weekend. Like it doesn't even have like my work stuff's a bit different because I seem to hyper focus on what I do. So that's
Okay.
great. That's probably why I'm good at what I do. But at the weekend, if I've got the house to clean, I've got a shower to have, I've got my makeup to do, I'm going out, maybe meeting someone, I've got all this to do. I
It's like,
literally lie in my, yeah, I lie in my bed. Sometimes it'll be scrolling on my phone, and I'll be like, right, I'll get up in a minute. All right, I'll get up in another 2 minutes. Like
mhm. I
sometimes
feel
it'll,
you, Amanda.
yeah,
Yeah,
honestly, and you feel lazy. Like
but you're not. Yeah, you're
no, but
not.
you
And
do,
it's not.
yeah,
Yeah, for people who don't, like, if someone who's not been diagnosed or you don't know about like neurodivergency and stuff, you do feel like that, and people do start believing, well, do you know what? I'm useless. I'm lazy.
yeah,
When they're not, it's just the way your brain actually works and
yeah,
responds to what you're doing. Um, yeah, like I've realised that I think I maybe have it, and as we're looking at my son, and it's
hmm,
exactly what you said there. It's like
yeah,
things that the penny starts dropping, doesn't it? And you go, oh, wait a minute, that's
yeah.
me, and it is inherited, isn't it?
I mean,
So yeah.
yeah, and there's sometimes when I'm feeling that like ADHD paralysis way, I'll like it was even like this morning. Like I knew I had podcasts to film and I needed to have a shower, I needed to do my makeup. And when I started thinking about everything I needed to do, my brain did start going,
Mhm.
oh, you're not doing any of it. Um, but what I done was broke it down. It's like, you're just going for a shower. You're just going to shower, wash
Just
your
get in
face.
the shower. That's it.
Yeah.
Just get washed. That's the
First
start.
step. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just broke it down into little tasks. And it's amazing how I didn't realise that was something I was struggling with. I just thought I'm being a bit lazy today. Like that's how
Hmm.
I used to think years ago. Um, and I suppose that's what people around you will think as well. Oh,
Yeah.
she's being lazy.
She's still sitting there in her jammies.
I've been out at work all day. Why is she still lying there?
Yeah, I totally get it. Totally get it, Amanda. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you've mentioned like building, like we've just spoke about even there, building systems that work with the brain rather than against it. What does that actually look like in practice, especially for a neurodivergent person who's in business?
So I would say like simple, structured, and aligned.
Hmm.
Um, so for me, it's about simplifying things to reduce that overwhelm. Because as you just said, when you've got a list as long as your arm, it's that kind of panic stations, isn't it? And it's like you just don't want to do anything then. You kind of just shut off to it. So instead of expecting someone to just be more disciplined, like look at actually what actually works for you then. And it's like it's not going to be the same for everyone because we're all unique, aren't we?
Hmm.
So it might be like having a really simple structure to your day. Maybe you work better in the afternoons than in the morning. So the morning, maybe you have a more slower morning, a more simpler morning, and
Hmm.
the tasks that you know you've got to focus on in the afternoon, or vice versa, whatever suits the individual. Breaking tasks down so they don't feel overwhelming. Like if you've got one big task, break it down into manageable chunks.
Hmm.
So it seems like it doesn't seem so, oh my God, look what I've got to do.
Yeah.
Working in shorter focused blocks. So what I've noticed, so when I've left kind of my 9 to 5 and you've not got like someone sitting there watching you, or like you're on like in the NHS, obviously it was in for young people that I worked with anyway.
Hmm.
But yeah, you've kind of got to do it because there's someone there, isn't it? Whereas
Yeah.
this last year, I've learned a hell of a lot by myself because it's like I would have the radio on and then a song would come on and I would get up and I would dance around the table and then I would sit back down and I would do something else.
Hmm.
It's like, Rhea, you're never going to get work done. So I started incorporating the Pomodoro technique. I don't know if you've heard of that. Um, and what I usually do is I'll switch my phone on airplane mode, make
Yeah.
sure I've got no distractions, set the timer on my phone. I usually do it in like 45-minute bursts.
Hmm.
Because sometimes after that you start kind of losing
Yeah. I
focus.
do. I do 20-minute bursts.
Right, so I'll do like four, I've got four dogs as well. I've got four Cane Corsos. So what I'll do is I will, yeah, I'm glutton for punishment. Um, so what I'll do is I'll set the timer, do my 45 minutes, and then I'll go and grab one of the dogs and go for a little walk. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
just, I love
Mhm.
getting out in nature and grounding myself. So that kind of splits up my day as well, having the
Yeah,
four
yeah.
dogs to walk. Um, so yeah, I think using that Pomodoro technique has been a lot more beneficial for me than trying to concentrate for like 4 hours on
Mhm.
a task because your brain just goes elsewhere, doesn't it? Or
Absolutely.
even changing the environment. So I had an idea one day that, and I've say this to other people as well. Like, if you're sitting in your own kitchen or sitting in your at your desk or whatever in the house, and you feel like, do you know what, I can't, and you're so easily distracted by every job. I
Mhm.
sometimes take my laptop like along to the library,
Yeah.
or go to a local cafe where you sit and you'll have a coffee or whatever, and you know that right, this is the time to focus.
Mhm.
Although sometimes things can be distracting, but
Yeah.
I
But
think getting out that same
yeah.
environment that you're in every day is very important as
Yeah,
well.
well, I just done it on Wednesday. I had networking to go to in Edinburgh, and it had been a day, like from the minute I got up,
I think
because
it's on your post.
yeah, because my daughter had been up unwell, and I could think of nothing worse than going networking at that point. I was like, will I go? Will I not? And I lay there and I was like, no, you're committed. You're bringing a guest. You need to go. Um, so I ended up doing work on the train and stuff like that. And I was actually like, you know what? I quite enjoyed that. It was just a wee bit something
Mhm.
different. Got out for the day. And I mean, I got to do my work on the train. Like, that's new.
But that's it. Eh? But try, it's like you try and talk yourself out of something
Hmm.
type thing. Eh? But then when you do it, it's you actually feel more kind of energized, eh? Because it's been
Yeah.
something that actually has benefited you and you've enjoyed
Yeah, I
it.
mean, and don't get me wrong, by the time I got home and got to the end of the night, I was done. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I need my bed. But I did feel so much better for having went. But I'm really lucky that I did have a support network to like watch my daughter and let me still go and do that. I think we'll give ourselves a hard time when we do have to
I
cancel
know,
things.
but it's life, isn't it? And if you have got that support network there, then that's really good. And
Yeah,
you need to use it, don't you, to support you?
definitely,
And
definitely.
do you know what? Another thing that I found really beneficial, and this was actually this was a workshop that I was at. The guy had says, right, so get yourself like an A4 diary, because I do still like writing in a normal
Yeah.
diary. I do. I'm not fully digital. And what I do is when I'm kind of planning my weeks, I'll usually put like a traffic light system
Yeah.
at jobs, right? So if there's like accountant work or like reports or anything like that that's quite hard going, that'll get a red circle beside it.
Mhm.
And if it's stuff that I really enjoy, that I'm in flow with, that'll get a green circle. So
Mhm.
I try not to make too many red tasks in a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, you become really overwhelmed, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
definitely. I
so
love
that
that. I
that is
actually really like that.
it's actually a really good. I was like, oh, see when I heard it, I went, oh, I'm going to use that. It's really good. Because it then because there's nothing worse than if you've got a day full of really, really demanding tasks, eh? Because
Yeah.
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
how I kind of try and build systems, help other people. And you know what? It's not like one size fits all, is it? It's
No.
getting people to recognise what their strengths and weaknesses are, what works for them, what doesn't, and
Mhm.
empowering and educating them to go forward with that, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like you're just saying about a paper diary there. To be fair, I do like a paper diary, but
Yeah.
for the business I'm in, wouldn't work. So mine is digital, but it's all color coordinated. So
Oh,
I
that's
know,
good.
like, my podcast color is purple. No, sorry, that's my client's podcast color. My podcast one is yellow. So I know if, like, all right, I've got a podcast to do. Client works um, green in my one. So I've got everyone else's color coordination. At least I
Do you
know
know
them
what?
all.
If it helps, that's all that matters, isn't it, Amanda?
Yeah, so yeah, when I look at my diary, so my stuff that's in purple is personal stuff. So if I've got any
Okay.
personal obligations, that goes in there. So I look and go, all right, I know I need to be there for that at that time. And it just separates it out for me to go, right, okay, green, that's client work. I can't, or a client meeting, I can't move that unless I really, really have to.
Yeah, that's like a must. Do you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
So yeah, I think it's less about trying to do more, isn't it? And it's
Mhm.
more about designing your day or your week so your brain can actually like function in it rather than become overwhelmed, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's like myself when I'm saying about what I do with like sometimes like this morning thinking, oh, I've got the shower, I've got my makeup, I've got all this. Sometimes I'll go to myself, right, I have my shower in the morning. I should never do that. I should have my shower at night. Unless I know I've got a really quiet morning.
Yeah.
I should
Because
never say
you end up
in the
being
morning.
like that all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time I'll jump. It's funny. I'll jump in the shower, shower myself, but it's my hair. If I say I'll do my hair in the morning, that ain't happening.
I know, I know. But yeah, we both got long hair and it's because you've
Yeah,
got to wash it, you've got to dry it, you've got to then
and then
straighten it
sometimes
if you do
straighten it.
that. Yeah.
Like I skipped
And
the
it's
straighten part today, but my hair's naturally fairly straight. I'm lucky. But honestly, like, yeah, so I need to get better at that myself to go, for example, like, because I network every week on a Tuesday morning, and I'll go,
okay.
I'll do my hair in the morning. Because then what I usually do is capture my content later that day, because I'll have my full face of makeup on. And
Yeah, that's well done.
what I need to do is do my hair the night before, and then just think, right, all you've got to do is get up and do your makeup. Jump in the shower, have a quick wash, you're
I know,
done.
but then as you just try and make life more difficult for yourself, Amanda.
I know, I know, because it's an early one as well. Like, it starts at, I've got to be there just after 6 because I'm on the top table. So I'm the secretary treasurer there the now. And yeah, I've got to be there before everyone else, and we all kick off between 6:30, 7:15. So if you're doing your hair and your makeup, you're talking you're up at 5, you know.
I know, that's a very early start.
Yeah, so I need
Yeah.
to try and make things easier for myself and break it
Yeah,
down.
set a reminder in your phone for
Mhm.
a Monday night to do your hair.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing that because I'm like, and I go to, the thing is, I should know because I try and go to the gym on a Monday. So I should go to gym, come home, do your hair.
Yeah, yeah. And that's you. You'll be sorted. And then it's like less panicking on the Tuesday morning for you, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And it'll
And
just
then that
make
way
things a lot more smoother.
you get that longer bit in bed.
Yeah. An extra half an hour or something. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you work a lot with things like the nervous system regulation,
Yeah.
belief work, and habits. How important are these when it comes to helping neurodiverse individuals feel more in control and confident both in their life and in their business?
Well, I think like so to me, the nervous system regulation to me could sometimes be the missing piece, I think. Um, Simply because if someone's nervous system's dysregulated, if they're overwhelmed and completely stressed, they're never going to be able to focus, no matter how many strategies you give that individual. If
Yeah.
their nervous system's totally heightened, braced for impact, like I know the way, like before I done my neural change and stuff, and before I done a lot of inner work on myself, there was some days that I was completely chaotic
Hmm.
because there was so much, my nervous system was so dysregulated that I was all over the place. And it didn't
Yeah.
matter what somebody tried to give me, it didn't matter what somebody tried to do for me or tried to help me, I just wasn't calm enough.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so regulation to me has got to come first. So bringing the body back to safety first. So this can be really simple things like getting out into nature, um, regulating your breathing, moving your body, or just even stepping away from. the task that's actually overwhelming you at that time.
Yeah.
Um, so I do feel that nervous system work is really, really important. That is a big kind of thing for me. The belief work, and do you know what? I think everything's quite important. And I was going to say this is really important as well, but it truly is. It truly is. Like you always, I think, like most of us, will have this voice in our head saying, "You're not good enough," or "You're
Yeah.
never going to make it," "You're never going to be this," "You're never going to be that," and these comments are maybe often from a teacher from when you're at school. It could be a peer. It could be even a parent. I'll have made
Yeah.
a comment, and that gets ingrained in here, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
then and that shapes how you kind of carry yourself in day-to-day life. So a
Mhm.
lot of what holds people back isn't actually their brain.
Mhm.
It's what they've been told over time. It's the beliefs that they're storing in that brain. So
Yeah.
this can be, I'm sorry, I was about to say about the teacher thing, and I've already said that. So part of my work is helping them like do a bit of belief revision,
Mhm.
recognise those patterns and starting to shift them into something that's more supportive for them and
Mhm.
is actually their beliefs rather than someone else's inherited belief.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I think it's a really big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, from my point, I've always had feelings of not being good enough. Um, which when I look back stems from being bullied, al almost every relationship I've been in being cheated on.
Yeah.
So it all doesn't help with the inner monologue that you have.
No, no, like so my father was an alcoholic. And
Mhm.
I kind of grew up in my life just feeling, well, if now it's not that now I know that my dad did love me. He was just scared, right? And it was his own trauma. But
Mhm.
growing up, I never knew that. So
Mhm.
I've grew up my whole life thinking, well, if my dad doesn't love me, how is anybody else going to love me? And always just believed I was never good enough. And what
Yeah.
you say about the relationships, like my first son, his father cheated on. And it's kind of like the relationship I'm in now, like that, like I've been with Andy 22 years. But for a long, long time, until I kind of done this inner work and
Mhm.
like started loving myself and seeing me for what I actually am, I was I was a nightmare. I was a nightmare because I truly believed that, well, if my dad can't love me, how is he going to love me? He's going to cheat on me. He's going to do that. And it's
Yeah.
that inner voice, isn't it, that keeps telling you this because based on other people.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
And yeah, I think it's changing that narrative in your head about yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think for people, I can't remember the actual figure it said, but because some facts go out my head, but I did see a video that people who have ADHD, they are criticised or given negative comments more than someone who's neurotypical. So the stop fidgeting, like you're too fidgety, you're too
You're
noisy,
true this, you're true
do that.
that.
Yeah. So imagine what that's doing to them.
I know. Because as I've always had people, like even in my job, like, and this is like, wasn't that long ago, and this is people that actually work for the NHS. Anytime I'd come in, but oh, here she is, here comes the loud one. And I
Mm.
think it's just because I speak quite loud. I'm quite, yeah, I'm quite loud. My granny used to say, oh, here comes the foghorn. Ah! Um, but do you know what? Now I actually see that as like good points about
Yeah,
me.
you
Do you know what I
embrace it.
mean? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like I've kind of turned what people would say from negatives to positives now,
yeah, which is a
and
much better way to.
yeah, and I kind of embrace my uniqueness. I love it now.
Yeah.
And I never
Yeah,
used to,
we've
but
all
now I
been
do.
there.
And yeah, and I think as once you change that narrative, you're like, yes, it feels
Mhm.
good now.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
yeah, where am I? I think it was habits and systems as well, was it? Weren't I? So yeah, this is when like small consistent actions come into play. So things like having a simple structure to the day, like the techniques that I spoke about before as well, and getting into the habits,
Hmm.
because there's no point in doing things the way you've always done if it's not serving you. You have got to kind of incorporate other things into your life that's going to make either running your business. Because I think, well, Rhea, you have the first kind of 6 to 8 months of me leaving my job
Hmm.
to start my business has kind of been me figuring out what actually works for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I've learned a lot about myself, shall we say?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's amazing. The journey you go on as a business owner is
yeah.
eye-opening sometimes.
It is, isn't it? But it's good. It's really, really good as well. I'm loving it. And I think another thing, so with the neuro change, like the first kind of thing for that is like finding your purpose.
Hmm.
And I think once you know what your purpose is, or what fires that, like fires your belly up,
Hmm.
once you, if you're like, so now I could get up in the morning and do different things all day and still be doing stuff that I enjoy at 8, 9 o'clock at night, and still sitting
Yeah.
actually happy that I'm doing it, because you're in
Yeah.
flow. And once you're in that flow state, like time disappears, doesn't it? It doesn't seem
Yeah, it
like you're
does.
working. It doesn't seem like, yeah, you're kind of, because sometimes Andy goes, Rhea, you still working? And I'm like, I'm sitting there all happy. But yeah, I think doing what you love is a really, really big key to being happy as well, I
Yeah.
think.
I think that's amazing, and I think all our listeners will be resonating with something somewhere in this
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
There's no,
Good.
there's no way, even if you're not neurodiverse, you're resonating with something in there because the belief systems and things like that.
Yeah, totally, totally.
So, so just to round things up with us, I always ask all my guests before they go off, when you think about neurodiversity, what's one word that comes to mind?
Potential. And
Yeah.
I'm saying potential because, right, wait a minute, because I did have this written down. Yeah, here we go. Um, because to me, when you're not understood, like, because when it's understood properly, it's not, to me, it's not a limitation.
Yeah.
It's something that can actually be a strength. And I think when your beliefs about yourself are not very positive, and where, like, once you flip that round, you actually embrace your uniqueness and see the potential in you.
Yeah.
Um, so I think a lot of people have just been misunderstood or placed in environments that don't actually suit them. So I
Yeah.
used to, like, when I used to see all the young people coming through the door at drop in, to me it was like circle pegs, square holes. It's never going to
Mm.
work.
Yeah.
You need to have, people need to be in the environment that they're going to thrive in, I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love that, and I love that word. That's a very
Yeah,
good.
that's good, yeah.
I'll
And it
I'll
actually
apply.
goes with realise your potential.
It does, but
Yeah,
I absolutely love hearing people's words associated with it because it's really interesting to hear their takes on
yeah.
it.
I know, it must be good, like, hearing everybody's different point of view all the time, eh?
Yeah, and so far all the words have been positive.
Oh, that's good.
Hopefully, if they're coming on the podcast, they are a bit more positive.
I know. I would really hope to think that they would say something positive. You never know. Somebody might surprise you one day, Amanda.
I know, and I'll sit here in shock. Like, what?
Actually lost for words.
Yeah, absolutely. But okay, so thank you very much, Rhea, for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you
And
for having me.
that's all right. Thank you to all our listeners and watchers for signing in and checking it out today. Please remember to like and subscribe. And I'll put Rhea's details in the description. So if you want to reach out and connect with her, then you can do so.
Thank you.